Basketball Society.
What's going on, everybody? Alex Fischbein back again with another week of Fisch's Friday Rant by way of the Basketball Society. And I would just like to start off by saying happy college basketball season to all of those college basketball hoop heads out there. And to commemorate the opening day for college basketball, I would like to show you what I wear to Pitt's basketball games, because if you don't know me, yes, I go to the University of Pittsburgh, and the student section is called the Oakland Zoo, so everyone wears something normally animal related. So, this is what I normally wear. And yes, I normally have like the Oakland Zoo shirt on, and you know, got it going around, got it doing some dance moves at the timeouts. Been on the big screen at least like 4 or 5 times just hitting the Dougie with this hat. But anyway, what I've come to talk to you guys about today is the Sacramento Kings. The comparison that Jason Kidd made from Emmanuel Mudiay to himself, and I want to talk a little bit about the Clippers as well. So, to start off, the Kings. Now, it has come out that Derek Cousins, I have so many names in my head right now. DeMarcus Cousins cursed out George Karl, and if you ask me, it was only a matter of time. I mean, I just knew that this Kings team was going to explode at some point this season, and I'm not the only one who thought that. There's definitely a lot of people who had thought, like, oh, the Kings are going to dwindle as the season goes on. Probably Rondo was going to explode at some point. I mean, Cousins is always, like, his temper boiling point is always right there on the line with it. Will he blow up this game, get a technical, or will he relax and not do much? So, this whole DeMarcus Cousins cursing out thing doesn't ring any bells of like, oh my god, look at this, look what happened, did you see that? Like, oh, the Kings are gonna do this, the Kings are gonna do that. It was bound to happen. I mean, if you guys didn't hear our Rabble TV broadcast with BJ Boyer and myself when we were talking about this as a pregame to the ESPN doubleheader with Clippers, Dallas, and Portland Spurs. Like I said in that, what the Kings pretty much did was they took a coach who was finally getting through to Cousins, who Cousins respected, he loved playing for, he would do whatever he was told from that coach, which is Mike Malone. You fire him, you disgruntle your superstar, you bring in a coach who is already not fond of guys with attitudes, and you expect that to work. It's pretty much like taking a mathematical formula that you know works for a certain situation, trying to apply it to another situation that you know won't work, and saying, I think we can get some good results out of this. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not how life works. That's not how the NBA works. It's not how sports work in general. So, it really was just a matter of time until something happened. And a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be Rondo, which, I mean, plenty of reasons to predict that with Rondo going off in Dallas with another great coach in Rick Carlisle. So, the Kings front office and owner, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? What is your plan of attack? What is your strategy? Like, going into this whole free agency, they were planning on going after the big names, the big guys. They wanted to make a big splash in free agency. They ended up getting Rondo, Kufo. Where are you going from here? Because this isn't a championship contending squad. Especially in the West, when you have Steph Curry going crazy over there with Jordan-like numbers so far. No, I'm not comparing him to Jordan. I'm just saying his numbers are like that. And you still have teams like Houston, San Antonio, the Clippers, the Thunder. Even the Jazz are on the rise. There's so many teams that are still either at that level or better than them. So you have to have a plan of attack going forward after this. And the thing is, nobody really knows what it is. At least when you look at the Celtics, when you look at the Sixers, you see teams that have a plan in mind. They know, okay, the Sixers case, we're building through the draft. Okay, we get that. We understand that. The Celtics, we're drafting people as well as acquiring free agents. We have a great coach who knows how to put them in rotation and get us some wins. All right, we understand that. The Knicks, we draft Porzingis, added some free agents, tried to land the big names, couldn't, but still had backup plans with Robin Lopez and Aflalo and guys like that. All right, it's working so far compared to last season. The Kings, we go for big names, don't get anybody. So now we go for a guy with a really big attitude in Rajon Rondo. Fire a coach that worked. Hire one that doesn't like guys with attitudes. Draft another big man, even though we already have Kufos, Cousins, and company. Trade away a high draft pick in Stauskas, as well as trading away Thompson and Landry. And the right to swap a first round pick. And so what's happening? I don't... Excuse me? I have no idea what exactly that's supposed to do, what they're trying to get at. So, clue me in. Just clue me in. Like, any Kings fans, anything, just please comment below, follow, reply on Twitter, something, and tell me what you guys think the plan is. Because I don't see it. Now, I'm not saying this team is terrible. I'm not saying they're garbage. I'm not saying they're trash. I'm not anything like that. This team has some talent. But I don't see the plan going forward. I don't see a plan for the future. I don't see the plan for this season. Because while they do have talent, they're still not a championship contender. So please tell me what you guys think is going on. Anyway, moving on to this Jason Kidd, Emmanuel Mudiay comparison. I think it was a post-game or pre-game interview with Jason Kidd. And I'll just quote this for you guys from CBS Sports. At 19 years old, he's very talented. He's running the team. He's not afraid to take a big shot. Some people have said that he can't shoot, but he finds a way to put the ball in the basket. I think he enjoys to play the game, and I think for me, watching the tape on him is exciting. To see a 19-year-old being able to run a team with his poise and then also his skills, he has skills at the age of 19. Kidd was then asked if Mudiay compares favorably to him when he first broke into the NBA back in '94. And Kidd smiled and said, he'll be better. He's better already. Being able to run an NBA team at 19 is not easy. You look at some of the greats. Magic was able to do it. And you're looking at this kid, Mudiay, who has the opportunity to do something special. So, I would encourage him to be better than me, and I think he will be at the end of the day. Now, if I'm Mudiay, those are some big words. I would love to hear that kind of thing if I was Mudiay, because Jason Kidd is one of the great point guards that we've seen in the NBA. He, was like a walking triple-double. So, while a lot of people were like, whoa, like, calm down with this comparison, Mudiay's 8 games into his career, and, like, you can't just, like, base this whole comparison off of just 8 games. But, alright, true. Small sample size. That's correct. There is a very small sample size. But when you look at the stats, they are still pretty similar. Now, like Kidd said, one of the biggest knocks on Mudiay is that he can't shoot very well. And his field goal percentages do reflect that. But he's still finding ways to score, like Kidd said as well. So, just looking at averages right now, just I know small sample size, whatever, but just looking at averages, Mudiay averaged 13 points a game. Kidd, 12 points a game. Mudiay's averaging 6 assists per game. Kidd, 8 assists per game. Mudiay, 4 rebounds a game. Kidd, 5 rebounds a game. Steals, both around 1. Blocks, Mudiay's averaging around 1. Kidd's was on the lesser side of the fraction of 1. So, give him 0. Mudiay had a little bit more turnovers, obviously. He's a 19-year-old kid. When Jason Kidd came in the league, he was 21, so he had probably a little bit more of a maturation process before the NBA than Mudiay did. And but when you look at their field goal percentages, Kidd shot around 38%. Mudiay right now shooting around 33%. And then when you look at 3-point, Mudiay shooting 33% and Kidd shot 27%. So, there are some things that balance out. A lot of these things are pretty similar. And when you look at the overall game of Mudiay, not counting the fact that, like, he's a 6'5" athletic beast that helps him on defense, but their offensive game really does look very similar. These guys rely on getting to the hoop to get their points, or playing that pick and roll mid-range game. And they both have a great court vision. The one thing with Mudiay that'll get better with time is obviously his decision-making will get better. He'll understand the NBA game more, how fast it is, and he'll become more comfortable, and so that will lead to a diminished amount of turnovers. But overall, these two do look pretty similar in their early goings, in their paths. Now, Kidd said that Mudiay is probably going to be better than him, and he thinks that Mudiay already is. I don't know about that being already better than him, because yes, Mudiay does average some more points, but he's also given a lot more leeway probably. And Mudiay is also 6'5" and an athletic beast, which was a little bit more than Jason Kidd could say. So I don't think this comparison is bad, or everyone starts saying, oh, these comparisons are disrespectful. It's not disrespectful. It's just trying to show that Mudiay could be as good as one of the best point guards we've seen, especially in the modern era. So, well, I shouldn't say modern era, recent. But Mudiay has some great promise. He has some great talent, and I could definitely see this kid becoming one of the better point guards in the league. And honestly, with the West, it's only going to help him get better, the fact that he has to face all these top point guards out there. The fact that he has to face Curry and Chris Paul and Damian Lillard and Ty Lawson and Tony Parker and just all these. The fact that he has to face these guys and learn how to defend them is only going to help. So I could definitely see Moody, the fact that Kidd said that Mudiay could finish better than Kidd. I can see that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not putting my stamp on it it's definitely going to happen, bet on it. But I could see it. It's definitely the way that Mudiay has been playing, and if he keeps progressing, I could definitely see him ending up that way. Now, on to the final topic, the Los Angeles Clippers. We all see what this Clippers team has. We see the players they have, how much talent's on that team, a good coach in Doc Rivers. But the biggest thing is that these guys, it doesn't really seem like they know how to win. Now, like, don't take that out of context. I'm not saying, like, these guys are always, like, gonna lose every single time. But it's like, so the Spurs, when they win, they do it on their own accord. They do it their way. They're not gonna let the refs dictate the game. They're not going to try to get more calls on their side, if you know what I mean. Yes, the Spurs just still will, like, Tim Duncan will still turn around and be like, what are you calling me for that? But the thing is, they know a time to complain about a call and a time to not. Whereas the Clippers really seem like they'll complain for every single call, even if it's a blatant call. They will complain about it, they will get technicals for it, and they will just let it get into their head and ruin their game. That's the thing that a lot of people aren't really understanding, is that when you complain about a lot of calls, that gets into your head. Because then, as you're playing the game, you think, oh, the refs are out to get us. They're not gonna call this because they don't like us or all this kind of stuff. And when that happens, it kind of pisses you off to the fact that you'll be a lot more, like, ready to start a fight. And if you watch that Dallas versus Clippers game, Griffin was about to fight a few times in that with Zaza Pachulia. And when you complain as much as the Clippers do, one, we've already found out that they're the most hated team in the league just because of how annoying they are. It's been said by, like, those anonymous player surveys and everything that nobody really likes the Clippers because of how much they complain. And two, as a ref, I have refed different sports like volleyball, basketball. I have ref things. If you are always in my face complaining about calls every single time, that's not going to want me to, on an iffy call, it's not going to make me want to go and err on your side of the call. That's just how it is. That's just how refs are. If there's a call that could go either way, it's really close. If you're on their bad side, they're not going to give you that call. So the better thing to do is accept the call, shut up, keep playing, and just try and go out and play better and beat the other team. Stop complaining about what a ref may or may not call. I understand if it's a very blatant thing, kind of like when Melo stepped out of bounds against the Raptors. I understand complaining that. It was obvious he stepped out of bounds. But if you're going to complain about knicky-knack calls all the time, if you're going to complain about fouls or non-called fouls, it's just going to keep getting into your head and make you play worse because you're just going to keep worrying about the call instead of worrying about your own game and worrying about getting back into the game to beat the other team. And it's just annoying. It's annoying to watch. It's annoying to play against. It's annoying to be on the same team as that. If you're a guy who doesn't complain the call, if you're on a team of full of guys that just complain calls, it'd be annoying as hell. So please, Clippers, just stop. Just play the game. Play basketball. I'm pretty sure that's what everyone wants. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode. That's enough for me today. Enough ranting for me. Make sure you check us out on the website, www.basketball-society.com, and on Twitter at @bballsociety_. I released an episode of the Atlantic Files just this past Wednesday. That'll be on Wednesdays all the time. This, obviously, Fridays every week. So make sure you guys follow the account Follow the website to see when the newest episodes are posted. Thank you guys for listening and supporting. I will see you guys next week. Peace.